I want you to picture something for a moment. Imagine that every day is like a brand new canvas, and you hold the paintbrush. That paintbrush represents the decisions you make. The question is, what masterpiece will you create? Each day is a fresh chance to grow, to sharpen your skills, refine your mindset, and elevate your life to new heights. But this doesn't happen automatically. You have to make it happen. One of the most important lessons I've learned is this. Success comes from practicing a few simple habits consistently. On the other hand, failure is the result of repeating small mistakes every day. The line between success and failure lies in the small, daily improvements you choose to make. It's not about massive changes. It's about those tiny adjustments we often overlook that make the biggest impact over time. I've identified 10 areas you must focus on improving daily, and we'll explore these quickly before diving deeper into our ultimate goal. The first area is your attitude. This is incredibly powerful because it forms the foundation of everything in your life. If you work on improving your attitude just a little each day, you'll notice it can completely change how you experience your life. You might think, it's just my mood or how I feel, but it's much more than that. Your attitude shapes how you view the world, tackle challenges, solve problems, and interact with others. It's like a magnet. It either draws opportunities closer or pushes them away. Consider this. Have you ever met someone who is constantly negative, always finding something to complain about, no matter how good their circumstances are? How much success do you think someone like that attracts? Likely very little, because their negative outlook builds invisible walls that block opportunities. In contrast, someone with a positive attitude pulls opportunities toward them like a magnet. People naturally want to spend time with them, support them, and contribute to their success. If you start improving your attitude just a little every day, whether by focusing on being more optimistic or patient, you'll begin to notice doors opening that you never even realized were there. But remember, changing your attitude doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process, something you build day by day. One day you might focus on being more grateful. The next, you could practice resilience. Over time, these small efforts stack up, creating a strong, lasting foundation for a better attitude. Once you lay the foundation of a better attitude, you'll find it has a ripple effect on the rest of your life, your relationships, your work, your health. Everything begins to improve. Next, you need to focus on your communication skills every single day. This is a major factor in how successful you can become because nearly everything in life involves communication. Whether you're talking to a friend, negotiating a business deal, or simply spending time with family, communication's at the core of it all. The better you communicate, the stronger your relationships will be, the more smoothly your career or business will run, and the greater your ability to influence those around you. But let's be clear. Communication isn't just about talking. In fact, some of the best communicators don't say much. They listen. They listen carefully, with empathy, and with the intention of understanding, rather than simply preparing a response. Good communication is a two-way street. It's about clearly expressing your ideas and truly understanding the ideas of others. And just like your attitude, this is something you can work on daily. One day, you might focus on becoming a better listener. The next, you could practice expressing your thoughts clearly and confidently without being aggressive. Another day, you might refine your ability to choose the right words to convey how you feel. Each of these small improvements adds up over time, smoothing out the rough edges of your communication style. You'll transform into someone others are eager to listen to and connect with. Here's the real power of effective communication. When you master it, you naturally become more influential, a better leader, and a source of inspiration to others. Think about this. Have you ever had a misunderstanding with someone because of poor communication? Maybe you interpreted something one way while the other person meant something entirely different. That small miscommunication may have snowballed into a larger problem. Now imagine if you worked on improving your communication skills just a little every day. How many conflicts could you avoid? How many relationships could you strengthen? How much trust could you build? Improving communication isn't just a skill. It's a tool for creating deeper, more meaningful connections in every area of your life. Another crucial area to focus on daily is self-discipline. This is the bridge that connects your goals to your achievements. It's the ability to push forward when you don't feel motivated, to do what's necessary even when it's uncomfortable. Without self-discipline, success isn't just difficult, it's impossible. You might have the best ideas, the biggest dreams, and all the talent in the world, but without the discipline to follow through, none of it will matter. Self-discipline works like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. And just like with communication and attitude, you can improve it bit by bit every day. Start small. One day, you might discipline yourself to wake up 15 minutes earlier. The next day, you might commit to exercising, even if you don't feel like it. The day after that, you could challenge yourself to stay focused on your work without letting distractions pull you away. These small, consistent acts of discipline may seem insignificant, but over time, they add up to significant results. Here's something to consider. Self-discipline isn't just about willpower. It's about creating habits. When something becomes a habit, it no longer requires as much effort or mental energy. It becomes automatic. For example, if you develop the habit of reading 10 pages of a good book every day, you won't have to rely on sheer willpower to keep learning and growing. The habit itself takes over, and your discipline becomes effortless. I once knew a young man who had incredible talent and endless potential, but he lacked discipline. He would enthusiastically start projects, but rarely finish them. He was easily distracted by new ideas and abandoned the old ones. As a result, he struggled to make real progress. One day, I sat him down and told him, "You need to train yourself to stick with something until it's complete. Even when it's hard, even when it's boring, and even when you don't feel like it." He took the advice to heart, starting with small tasks and gradually building his discipline. Over time, he developed the consistency to follow through on bigger goals. Today, he's incredibly successful, and he'll tell you that self-discipline was the key. By strengthening your self-discipline, you lay the groundwork for achieving not just your short-term goals, but also your most ambitious dreams. Another way to elevate your life is by addressing your mindset and challenging the limiting beliefs that hold you back. Many of us are not restricted by external circumstances, but by the thoughts we have about ourselves and the world. You might think, "I can't do this," simply because you've never done it before, or because someone once told you you're not good enough. But here's the truth. Those beliefs are just thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. Every day, work on replacing those limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," try telling yourself, "I'm learning how to do this." Instead of thinking, "I'll never succeed," shift to, "I'm on the path to success." These small shifts in perspective may seem trivial at first, but over time, they can transform your entire outlook on life. I knew someone who struggled deeply with his mindset. He had a habit of focusing on the negatives. He saw every obstacle as impossible to overcome, and every failure as permanent. This way of thinking kept him stuck, unable to move forward, no matter how much effort he put in. One day I sat him down and said, "You've got to stop focusing on what's wrong and start focusing on what's possible." He took that advice to heart and began making small changes. He started reading a few pages of a positive book every morning, practicing gratitude every evening, and deliberately shifting his attention from problems to solutions. Over time, his mindset changed, and with it, his entire life. He became more confident, more resilient, and ultimately more successful. And it all started with small, consistent efforts to improve his mindset. One of the best things about improving your mindset is that it gives you the tools to handle challenges more effectively. Life will always have its difficulties, but with the right mindset, those difficulties become opportunities for growth instead of roadblocks. By working on your mindset every day, you'll find that you can face adversity with greater strength and optimism. Mindset isn't something that shifts overnight. It's a process built brick by brick through daily habits. With every step forward, whether it's practicing gratitude, learning from failures, or reframing negative thoughts, you build a foundation for a more positive and empowered perspective on life. Another critical skill to improve daily is time management. Time is the one resource we all have in equal measure, 24 hours a day. But how we choose to use it determines everything. Time is precious, and once it's gone, you can never get it back. If you want to achieve meaningful things in life, you need to learn to manage your time effectively. The good news is, like anything else, time management is a skill you can improve a little bit every day. Start small. Today, you might focus on setting clearer priorities. Tomorrow, you could work on minimizing distractions. The day after, you could practice saying no to commitments that don't align with your goals. Each of these small changes adds up, and over time, you'll find yourself accomplishing more in less time while focusing on what truly matters. How often do you feel busy but not productive? How often do you find yourself working on tasks that don't move the needle while pushing aside the important things? This is why time management is so crucial. Being busy isn't the same as being productive. Effective time management is about focusing on the right things at the right time, in the right way. One of the simplest but most powerful ways to improve your time management is to start your day with a clear plan. Spend a few minutes each morning identifying your top priorities for the day. What are the most important tasks you need to complete? What can you delegate or eliminate? And here's an important tip. Don't just plan your work. Plan your breaks too. Rest is just as important as action. Without time to recharge, you'll burn out. Over the years, I've worked with many people who struggled with time management. They would often say, "I just don't have enough time to do everything I need to." My response was always the same. You have the same amount of time as everyone else. The key is not having more time, but using the time you have more wisely. If you want to improve your life, start by improving how you manage your time. It's a daily practice, and with each small improvement, you'll find that your life begins to flow more smoothly. Time is your most valuable asset. Treat it as such. Another area you must work on every day is building and improving your knowledge. The world is constantly evolving, and if you're not learning, you're falling behind. The more you know, the more you can do. The more you can do, the greater value you can bring to others. And when you provide value, the rewards naturally follow. If you want to stay ahead in life, commit to learning something new every single day. How do you do this? It's simple. Read, listen, and study. Today, you might read an article related to your field. Tomorrow, you could listen to a podcast about personal growth. The day after, you might take an online course to improve your skills. These small daily investments in learning accumulate over time, making you more knowledgeable, skilled, and better prepared to tackle whatever life throws your way. Here's something important to understand. Learning doesn't end when you leave school. In fact, that's when the real education begins. Formal education might help you earn a living, but self-education is what will help you build a fortune. The most successful people in the world are lifelong learners. They're constantly improving themselves because they understand that the more they learn, the more they can achieve. I once knew a man named Mr. Shaw, who was one of the wisest individuals I've ever met. He didn't become that way by chance. He dedicated himself to learning every single day. He once told me, "The more you learn, the more you earn." I took his words to heart. I began reading voraciously, listening to seminars, and absorbing as much knowledge as I could. And you know what? He was absolutely right. The more I learned, the more opportunities came my way. The same will hold true for you. Another area to work on daily is your finances. Your financial situation isn't something that simply happens to you. It's something you create. Like every other part of your life, it requires consistent attention and improvement. Whether your goal is to get out of debt, build wealth, or achieve financial security, it all starts with small, daily efforts. Here's the truth. Most people don't truly understand money. They know how to earn it, but they don't know how to manage it. As a result, they struggle financially, no matter how much they make. The good news is, you can improve your financial habits little by little. Start by tracking your expenses so you know where your money is going. Tomorrow, create a basic budget to ensure you're living within your means. The next day, commit to saving a small percentage of your income. These small financial habits may seem minor, but over time, they can transform your financial situation. Managing money isn't about how much you earn. It's about how much you keep and how wisely you use it. Some people make significant incomes, but spend it as quickly as they earn it, living paycheck to paycheck. Others, who earn less, are able to save, invest, and build wealth because they've mastered the principles of financial management. The good news is that these principles can be learned by anyone. You don't need to be a financial expert to take control of your money. All it takes is a series of smart, consistent decisions made daily. For example, one of the best pieces of financial advice I ever received was this: spend less than you earn and invest the rest. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful. If you live by that rule, your financial future will be secure. But here's the thing. Financial discipline requires the willingness to delay gratification. It means saying no to unnecessary expenses today so that you can say yes to financial freedom tomorrow. Each day, you can work on your ability to make smart financial choices, manage your resources wisely, and invest in your future. Have you ever looked at your bank account and wondered, where did all my money go? That's often a sign that it's time to improve your financial habits. Taking control of your money doesn't require drastic changes, just small, consistent adjustments that add up over time. Another area you should work on daily is personal development. Growth is essential to life. If you're not growing, you're stagnating. And if you're stagnant, you're falling behind. Every day is an opportunity to work on becoming a better version of yourself. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Personal development is about continually improving how you think, how you act, and who you are. For instance, today you could work on becoming more self-aware, understanding your strengths, weaknesses, and habits. Tomorrow, you might develop a new skill that benefits your career or personal life. The next day, you could focus on enhancing your emotional intelligence, learning how to manage your emotions and connect better with others. Each of these small improvements contributes to your overall growth. Over time, these small actions add up, and you'll find that you're becoming the person you always knew you could be. One of the best tools for personal development is goal setting. Clear, specific goals push you to grow and keep you moving forward. But here's the key. Your goals must align with your values, passions, and purpose. Personal development isn't just about accomplishing more. It's about becoming more. It's about transforming into the kind of person capable of achieving your goals. You can work on this every single day. For example, today, you might set a goal to read a chapter from a personal development book. Tomorrow, you could spend 10 minutes practicing a new habit. The next day, you might take time to reflect on your progress and adjust your approach if needed. Each of these small actions moves you forward on your journey of growth. One important aspect of personal development is unlearning. Growth isn't only about gaining new knowledge or skills. It's also about letting go of old habits, beliefs, and ways of thinking that no longer serve you. Sometimes, in order to move forward, you need to release the things holding you back. Personal development is a continuous process of learning, unlearning, and evolving. One powerful lesson I've learned in this area is this: you attract what you become. If you want to attract success, you must first adopt successful habits, ways of thinking, and actions. If you want strong relationships, you must work on becoming someone who adds value to others' lives. If you desire abundance, you need to develop an abundant mindset. And this is something you can work on a little each day. Another vital area to improve daily is your sense of purpose. Purpose is what gives your life direction. It's the reason you wake up in the morning and the force that keeps you going, even when things get tough. Purpose isn't static. It evolves as you grow. You need to nurture and refine it every day. It's something you actively live out in everything you do. If you're unsure about your purpose, that's okay. Purpose isn't always something you discover all at once. It's something you uncover over time, and each step you take brings more clarity. Today, you might spend some time reflecting on what truly matters to you. Tomorrow, you could take a small step toward a dream you've been putting off. The next day, you might focus on aligning your actions with your values. When you live with purpose, everything else starts to make sense. Your work becomes more meaningful, your relationships deepen, and even challenges become opportunities to grow. Purpose forms the foundation for a fulfilling and significant life. Without it, even the greatest successes can feel empty. I once met a man who had achieved everything society considers success: wealth, fame, and recognition. But he was profoundly unhappy. When I asked him about his purpose, he had no answer. He had spent so much time chasing external success that he lost sight of why he wanted it in the first place. I told him, "You need to find your purpose and live it daily." He took the advice to heart and began focusing on what truly mattered to him: helping others, making a difference, and living a life of significance. Over time, his entire life changed. He found happiness, fulfillment, and a deep sense of peace he had never experienced before. And it all started with the daily practice of living with purpose. Another essential area to focus on every day is gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions you can cultivate, and it has the ability to transform your life in ways you can't imagine. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you shift your attention away from what's missing and toward what's already good in your life. This simple shift in focus attracts even more positivity and abundance. Practicing gratitude doesn't require much effort. Today, you could take a moment to appreciate the people in your life who support you. Tomorrow, you might focus on the small blessings you often take for granted, like your health, your home, or your job. The next day, you might even express gratitude for the challenges you faced, recognizing how they've helped you grow. Gratitude has the power to shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Over time, it can completely change how you see the world. Have you ever had a bad day where it felt like nothing went right? We've all been there. But even on those days, there's always something to be grateful for. It might be a lesson learned from a mistake, or the strength you've gained from overcoming a tough situation. Focusing on gratitude helps you find value even in difficult times. Gratitude is one of those things that multiplies the more you practice it. The more you focus on what you're grateful for, the more reasons you'll find to be grateful. It's like a snowball rolling downhill. It grows bigger and bigger with time. Here's the best part. When you live in gratitude, you naturally attract more of the things you appreciate. It creates a cycle of positivity, abundance, and fulfillment that only strengthens with time. But gratitude isn't just about feeling thankful. It's about taking action. When you're truly grateful for something, it inspires you to give back, to help others, and to make a difference. This is why gratitude is so powerful. Not only does it improve your own life, but it also inspires you to improve the lives of those around you. By making gratitude a daily habit, you'll notice it doesn't just change your perspective, it changes your behavior. Gratitude has a way of softening us, making us more patient, generous, and compassionate. It helps us release the fear of not having enough and embrace a mindset of abundance. When you focus on what you have, even the smallest blessings, you begin to let go of the fear of scarcity, that feeling of never having enough. This is a powerful shift because when you stop living in fear, you start living in abundance. And living in abundance is one of the most transformative changes you can make in your life. Gratitude, like any skill, is a muscle. You must work on it daily for it to grow stronger. Each day, take a moment to reflect on something you're grateful for. It doesn't need to be anything grand. Maybe today, you're grateful for the sunshine. Tomorrow, you could appreciate the food on your table. The next day, you might be thankful for the lessons life has taught you, even through hardships. The size of what you're grateful for doesn't matter. It's the act of practicing gratitude that counts. Being grateful doesn't mean ignoring life's problems or pretending everything is perfect. Life will always have its challenges. But gratitude helps you develop the resilience to face those challenges with strength. It allows you to say, yes, this is hard, but I'm still thankful for the ability to overcome it. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, giving you the energy, courage, and perspective to keep moving forward. I once knew a woman who faced a particularly difficult time in her life. She had lost her job, her relationship had ended, and she felt completely lost. Every day seemed like an uphill battle. One day, we sat down and I told her, "You need to find something to be grateful for, even in the middle of the storm." At first, she thought it was impossible. But she started small, writing down just one thing she was grateful for each day, no matter how minor it seemed. Slowly, her perspective began to shift. Day by day, she stopped focusing on what was wrong and started seeing the opportunities in front of her. She rebuilt her life, piece by piece. And today she is happier and more successful than ever. She often tells me it all started with practicing gratitude. Here's another thing about gratitude. It's contagious. When you live with gratitude, others notice. It spreads. Your positive outlook inspires others to see the good in their own lives. Your generosity encourages them to be more giving. Your appreciation lifts people out of their own negativity. Practicing gratitude doesn't just improve your life. It has a ripple effect, touching the lives of everyone around you. Think about your life for a moment. Consider the areas we've discussed: your attitude, communication, discipline, relationships, mindset, time management, finances, personal growth, purpose, and gratitude. How many of these could benefit from just a little improvement every day? Imagine what your life could look like if you committed to making small, consistent changes in these areas daily. The truth is, the key to lasting transformation isn't in one massive leap, but in the small, steady actions you take each day. That's where the real magic happens. I've seen this time and time again. People who focus on improving just a little bit each day and prioritize the process over the outcome end up achieving extraordinary things. Why? Because success is the natural result of small disciplines repeated over time. So let me ask you, what's one small improvement you can make today? Maybe it's reviewing your finances and making a small adjustment to your spending. Or perhaps it's reaching out to someone you care about and letting them know how much you appreciate them. Whatever it is, start today. Don't wait for the perfect moment or for everything to align just right. Begin where you are with what you have and make a commitment to improve just a little each day. The beauty of small, consistent actions is that they compound. Over time, these small choices lead to significant results. Before you know it, you'll find yourself standing in a place you never thought possible. And don't forget about the power of purpose. Purpose is what gives meaning to all these daily efforts. It's the why behind everything you do. When you have a clear sense of purpose, everything else starts to fall into place. Your discipline becomes stronger. Your gratitude grows deeper. Your motivation becomes unstoppable. But here's the thing. Purpose isn't something handed to you. It's something you discover and develop over time. Like everything else we've discussed, purpose is something you can work on a little each day. Today, you might take some time to reflect on what truly matters to you. Tomorrow, you could take a step toward aligning your actions with your values. The next day, you might look for opportunities to serve others and make a difference. Each of these small actions brings you closer to living a life of purpose. When you live with purpose, everything else in your life gains meaning. Your work feels fulfilling. Your relationships become deeper. Even your struggles become opportunities for growth. Purpose is what makes life not just worth living, but truly rewarding. I want you to remember this as we conclude. Life is a journey, not a destination. That journey is made up of the small, daily steps you take. Every single day, you have an opportunity to improve. Each day, you have the chance to be just a little bit better than you were yesterday. And when you make the decision to commit to improving yourself in every area of your life, you'll find that the journey itself becomes the reward. So let me ask you, what will you choose to improve today? What small, consistent action can you take to move closer to the life you want? Maybe it's dedicating a few minutes to better understanding your finances. Perhaps it's strengthening a relationship by showing someone appreciation. Whatever it is, start now. Don't wait for the right time, and don't wait until everything feels perfect. Take a step today, even a small one, and let that be the beginning of your journey. Remember, it doesn't need to be a giant leap, and it doesn't have to be flawless. It only needs to be consistent. Over time, those small, deliberate actions will compound. And one day, you'll find yourself achieving things you once thought impossible. That's the real secret to success. It's not about luck, natural talent, or even hard work. It's about small, daily disciplines. It's about the little choices you make every single day, and those choices are entirely within your control. As you focus on these daily improvements, you'll start to notice remarkable changes in your life. Keep going. Keep growing. And remember this, success isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by becoming the best version of yourself.